A new edition of Star Wars Legion was just released, and with it came significant changes. This video aims at getting returning players up to speed on the major changes, and new players how to play in general. First, you need to create an army. Pick a faction you like from the 5 available, and start putting units into your army. You have 3 main restrictions for army building. 1. Needs to be under 1,000 points. 2. You need a unit that is a commander rank. And 3. You can't exceed a certain amount of each unit type. You can only have a max 2 commanders, 2 operatives, 6 core, 3 special forces, 3 support, and 2 heavy units. I recommend using the community site Tabletop Admiral to make making lists easier. From the commanders and operatives you've chosen, select 6 command cards, 2 of each pip type. Pips are the white dots in the corner of the cards, and always include a standing orders card as your 7th card. Then select your battle deck of objective, secondary, and advantage cards, 3 of each. Objective will determine what the deployment, placement, and how to score points for your game. Secondary provides an additional way to gain points during the game. Advantage provides a small advantage for only your army. There are 6 of each battle deck card type, but you can only take 3 of each. As of this recording, it is only available through Atomic Mass Games website under the Resources tab. Once you have your army assembled, find another player with an assembled army to play with and set up a 6x3 table with terrain. Once that is set up to both players' liking, you can determine who is the blue player and who is the red player. Each player will roll 5 black dice. Whoever has more critical hits on their die roll gets to be blue player. If it is a tie, whoever has the most hits. And if that is a tie as well, whoever had the most surges. Players will separate their objective, secondary, and advantage cards into 3 separate decks and individually shuffle them. The blue player will start building the mission that both players will be playing on by either placing an objective card from their deck or a secondary card. Whichever was not placed, the red player will place next. Then both players reveal 1 advantage card. Now from here, each player has 2 alternating turns to modify the mission they're about to play. Starting with the blue player, each player can either replace the objective, secondary, or an advantage card with their own. You can also have your opponent replace their advantage card with another one of their cards. If you are the red player, you can choose to become the blue player. You can only choose one of these per turn, or pass. After each player has taken 2 turns, the mission is set for the game. Blue player will then decide which long side of the table to be on. Orient the objective map card so that the blue deployment is on the blue side. The red and blue rectangles on the map card are the friendly deployment areas, and players will place the red circles on the board like how they are on the map card. Those are the POIs, or point of interest. That is where you'll be score the main objective. Each dark square on the map represents a range 1 tool for setting up purposes. Once objectives and table setup is done, you now start deploying your army, starting with units that have the prepared positions ability, 1 unit at a time alternating between both players in their own deployment zones. Once all of the units with the prepared positions ability have been placed, it is now round 1 and each player chooses a command card to be played. Whichever has the least white dots in the corner is determined to have priority for the round. They go first. If it is a tie, roll a red die. Blocks will be 1 player, blanks with surge will be the other player. Then give out orders specified on the command card. While undeployed, all units are within range of each other for the purposes of abilities and card effects. All order tokens that weren't given to units are randomized by being put in a bag or shuffled into a stack. Form a pass pool. After you've given out orders from your command card, count how many undefeated units you have, and your opponent does the same. The player with the fewer units gets pass tokens equal to the difference between both players -1. For example, if you have 10 units and your opponent has 14, you get 3 pass tokens. If you have 9 and they 10, you get nothing. This is evaluated at the beginning of every round. Before grabbing a random order token or activating a unit, you can use a pass token to skip your turn. This cannot happen back to back. After that, starting with the player that won priority, start activating units. When activating a unit, you can choose any unit that you've given an order to, or grab one of the randomized order tokens. When a unit activates, you get to perform 2 actions. Your list of actions are as follows. Move. Your unit moves at the speed indicated on their card. Attack. Attack with the range and dice indicated on their card. Aim. Improve attack results. Dodge. Improve defense results. Recover. Remove suppression and ready spent weapons. Standby. Allows you to perform an action during your opponent's turn if they do an action within range 2 of your unit. And perform a card action. If you see this arrow, it means it requires 1 action to perform it. And lastly, free actions. If you see this arrow, the ability doesn't use one of your 2 actions to use it. You can only perform each action once except for the move action and unless specified by an ability. If the unit is undeployed, its first action must be to move onto the board by placing the movement tool so that the 2 prongs on the tool touch the edge of the board. Then the leader unit can be placed anywhere along the tool after doing a move. If the unit has other models in the squad, make sure to put them in coherence with the leader by being within a speed 1 tool away. After that, the unit has 1 more action. The game is won either by whoever has the most points by the end of round 5 or the first player to reach 12 points. For most objectives, they require you to be within half range of these pieces called point of interest or POIs to interact with them. Half range is 3 inches, or you can use a printout provided by AMG on their website resources tab. Now that you've got the game going, how do you attack units? Range is determined by the weapons at the bottom of the unit card. Some will say 1 to 2, or 1 to 3, or 1 to 5. If your opponent's unit is visible and within range of your unit leader, you can attack them. The dice color and the number of dice determine how many dice each model in the unit uses in the attack. So for example, if you have a unit of 4 stormtroopers, you throw 1 white die per model of stormtroopers. So you can throw 4 white dice. Or if you have B2 battle droids, you throw 1 black and 1 white per model. So if you only have 3 models, you throw 3 black and 3 white dice. You can add an upgraded model to your squad that can use an improved weapon. In these cases, only that model can use that weapon. Gather your dice and roll them. If you made an aim action or got an aim token by other means, you can reroll 2 dice per aim token. After that, determine how many hits and criticals you rolled. If you roll this symbol, it's called a surge. And to determine if it does anything, refer to this chart on your unit card. If it equals a hit or a critical, change the die to that face. If there's nothing, then change the face to a blank. If the unit got a surge token, you can spend it, in this case, to change it to a hit. Now it's your opponent's turn to defend against it. First, with determining cover. First, draw a line of sight from your unit leader to his unit. If there's a terrain piece in between yours and their models, but you can still see them, the unit is obscured. Then, if the target of the attack is within half range of the terrain, it gets the benefit of cover, meaning that even if there's a barricade between the 2 units, if the target isn't close enough to it, they don't get the benefit of cover. How much cover the terrain provides is up to the players at the start of the game. There are 2 levels of cover, light cover and heavy. In light cover, the defender rolls a white die for every hit, not crit. Every normal block stops a hit. If they are in heavy cover, the surge side counts as a block as well. From there, the defender can use any dodge tokens the unit has accumulated. Each dodge token cancels 1 hit, not criticals. After that, any hits and criticals remaining, the defender must roll 1 defense die for. Each defense die they roll is decided by the die on the unit card. Every block you roll cancels a hit. Some units can surge the block as well and will be noted on their card. If you roll a blank, you take a damage for each one. The number here on the unit card determines the health of each model in your unit. So each model of stormtroopers has 1 health and each model of B2s has 2 health. Each hit provides 1 wound, and if a model is at their wound threshold, it is removed from the game. After defending from an attack, the defender unit gains a suppression token. Every unit has a courage value on their card, and if its suppression tokens match the number, it is suppressed. While suppressed, it gains light cover and reduces the actions it can do by 1. If the tokens are doubled its courage value, the unit is panicked. It does not perform any actions, and you remove suppression equal to its courage. Units can use courage value of a commander range 3 away to see if they are panicked. If you play droids, they are not affected by suppressed, but they still panic. Panicked units do not count towards contesting objectives. Units have a chance for this not to happen at the beginning of their activation by rolling a white die for every suppression token they have. Every block and surge they roll removes 1 suppression token. So that was for shooting, but let's say you want to hit something with your sword. This is how you'll do it. If a unit moves towards a unit in a way that their bases are touching, you are now engaged. You form attack dice like before, but now with dice from your melee weapons. And your opponent does not get the benefit of cover, and in most cases does not gain a suppression after the attack. Round 1 ends when all units have activated. And when round 2 starts, you select command cards again, and wash, rinse, repeat the last round. At the end of the round, all green tokens are picked up from the board, and 1 suppression token is removed from all units. This is the base knowledge you need to start and play a game of Legion. From here on, it's some miscellaneous rules to be aware of while playing. Some of these are changes to previous rules. Null courage value. If the unit has this symbol for their courage, they do not gain suppression tokens and cannot be suppressed or panicked. If they are the commander, units within range cannot panic. Deflect. Certain units with lightsabers have the deflect ability. If defending from a ranged attack, they get surge to block, and if they roll a surge, the attacker gains 1 wound. Withdraw. If you are in melee, you can only use 1 action to withdraw. You can still use your second action, but it cannot be an attack or be in base contact. If it's a creature trooper, you can attack and withdraw in the same turn. Backup. All commanders and operatives gain the ability Backup. If they are range 2 of an unsuppressed core trooper unit, they can cancel 2 hit results from a ranged attack. Be aware if your suppression tokens are not at your courage value, you are not suppressed and you do not gain light cover. So be aware if your unit has courage 2, you need 2 suppression to gain cover. Fire support gives you a standby token instead of being able to combine your dice pool with another unit when issued an order token. Abilities that give out tokens have had their range increased to 2. Spotter, take cover, and strategize. Droid's AI ability happens if they are outside of range 3 of a commander, if they activate without an order token. Scout is a free first move action with an undeployed unit with this ability. Transports can only transport core and special forces, and the unit must disembark after the first move onto the board made by the transport unit. Giving orders. Commanders can now give orders to any unit specified on a command card, regardless of range. Direct, Entourage, and Imperial Remnant are still range 2. Barricades are now open terrain and can be moved through normally now. Vehicles count towards objectives. Infiltrate. In the first round after prepared position step, when the unit activates, it gets placed in the friendly deployment zone as a free action and may perform 2 actions after that. With that, you should be able to start playing a game of Legion. There was a bit of minor points and abilities not covered in this, but as you play, hopefully you'll pick up on the nuances of the game. Good luck and have fun playing.